Now this morning I want to see how Steve's paint has dried up. This has one coat of clear on it from yesterday. Because we did the primer and the red, I didn't want to buy or even try to get more than one coat of clear on there. That's ready to be wet sanded out. And we got our other part up here. So we're going to try to work on these parts a little bit today. Yeah, that's going to be nice. Get them wet sanded out and get the final clear on so Steve can pick them up. Now, needless to say, I've done a lot of painting in really cold weather. And many times when I'm at a body shop supply or I read the 3M bulletins for the material, I say, oh, it has to be 52 degrees or 60 degrees or this or that. And yeah, that's probably a lot better. But I found out you can still do, if you're under what I call battle conditions like I am right here. We have no heat. These parts dry out in the garage overnight. And we're going to be spraying when it's basically below freezing. Now, the really important thing to understand is that paint, we let this dry in a garage overnight. This paint really isn't cured. It's not really even 24 hours old. It's still a little soft. So we're going to have to be real careful when we sand it out. And the first thing I'm going to do is let the parts warm up to ambient temperature, go have a cup of coffee, and then prep up the table for some wet sanding. Now, the first thing to remember, and it's a general rule of paint, the warmer it is, the quicker paint dries. The colder it is, the slower it dries. And there's a couple of rules that I've always used. If you're going to paint anything in below about 60-degree weather, it's best to let every coat of paint dry, at least I've found, overnight. But in this case, when it's sitting out in a cold garage overnight, well, you have two choices. If you start to see that the sandpaper is getting all clogged up, this is 1000 grit, by the way, well, then you may as well wait another day. And it's in your favor to wait out an extra day anyway. There's nothing to be gained from rushing it. Now, what we want to have happen is on this second coat of clear, I'd like to have the paint lay down real nice. So if Steve decides to buff it, it'll be a relatively easy job, probably less than an hour. If he decides to put it on the bike, and this is a really cool bike, the Vigione, it's his name for it. It's a cafe racer. Very unique, very cool, has a custom-made gas tank, among other things. But one of the things we'd really like to do is I'd like to have these parts. He had the problem with the original part, and I'm sure whoever painted it, they never prepped the part, and so what happened, the paint just chipped right off a year or two later. Now, what I'm trying to achieve is to just get the part totally flat, and it does look like this is going to come out real nice. But it's a little time consuming, because when the paint is not really cured for, so let's say, a week, it can be sticky, and if you stick your fingernail in it, sometime you can have a problem. If you keep the sandpaper good and wet, the test is always, if you look in a sandpaper and there's a little chewing gum in the sandpaper, the paint isn't dry yet. That's the little test that you want to look for all the time. Now, we will get the parts flat sanded out. Again, this will be a pretty straightforward operation. In the summer, you could put all the clear on in one day. You could do this in the morning and wet sand it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and put the last clear on if you really were in a rush. But this time of year, and boy, it is always better, if in doubt, let it dry an extra day. That's the golden rule. Paint loves to dry between coats. You don't wind up. If you put too much clear on at once, you put 6-8 coats on at once without letting it dry, you can come by and it just gets so soft. It's a problem. And I know guys that have tried to do that when they're doing they're covering gold leaf or whatever, and they need to put on so much clear it's like decoupage. Well, this is what we're trying to achieve, if you can see it. There's still a few little fish eyes, but we would like to have the whole part totally flat before we go on to the next step. Now the two tubes are ready, and I wanted to, see, this is a casting, I wanted to just try to clean this up just a little bit. It's a very funny story. The first time we painted this piece, and this was unrelated to the tubes, I think we painted the wrong side or something. Maybe this isn't the part, I don't even know. But anyway, we just continue with our 1000 grit paper, If we happen to go through, we can just touch up, put a little red on here, because see where the lettering is? I'm afraid I might go through. But I'll spend a little time on this just to make it a little bit nicer. Oh yeah, that'll smooth right out. Now I knew all the high spots had come out on this when we sanded it, including this lettering. So what I'm going to do is just airbrush on another coat of red on this. And by the way, a really wonderful tip, if you ever have to touch up, like when you go through on a corner or something like this, it's always great if you can do it with an airbrush and with low penetrating thinner, and then 20 minutes later put the clear on. That is a great tip. Now it's a common thing, if you use low penetrating thinner, there's a lot less chance you'll go down into the paint here that's really only a day old and cause yourself a problem. That is another great tip you can put in the bank if you're just learning how to paint. All right, we're ready for clear here. This is going to dry 20 minutes. Have me another cup of coffee and it's time to shoot the clear. And we got a really good day for shooting the clear. There's not a lot of wind blowing. And this is the 5-star clear we've been using, and we've had some really, really good luck with this, especially in cold weather, and we do most of our painting in the cold weather. Looks like that came out pretty decent. It's all for you, Steve. Yeah, that came out nice. So keep in mind, we are painting right on the cusp of being below freezing. Still ice on the pond. It's still pretty cold out. Now at the end of every session, I like to just see how this stuff is going to be drying up out here. Oh yeah. That's going to look nice. In this piece, it was well worth doing the extra work on it, because I'm sure you see this piece. It's kind of a fork brace, if I remember right. Oh, that'll be nice. That'll be one more nice little part on Steve's. I think it's a really cool cafe racer anyway. But anyway, I always love doing these little favors for people in the A-team. We all seem to be able to help each other from time to time. And it's one of the reasons motorcycle is so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for joining us. Look at this! I'm already done shooting a video and he shows up! Come on out, check your parts out, baby. Oh, he's got more stuff. Uh-oh, the bill's going up.
Beware of Polox bearing.
Oh, they are great. Those little things from Harbor
Freight. You can always use them, right?
Yeah, wait, let me show you.
If not the...
We didn't stage this, by the way.
The wheels themselves, at least the polish.
This part here I had to repaint red because the lettering came through. But look how nice it came out.
Which part you had to repaint?
This, you know, the little lettering? What?
Lettering?
Get your jacket out of Cliff. This is. I just got done painting this. I haven't even cleaned the gun yet. Wow, nice. Nice. So you can pick it up tomorrow morning, or
Yeah.
if you want to smell paint in the car right now, good luck.
No.
You don't want to smell this stuff. This is not good to be breathing in. But the quality of paint, it was worth putting that extra coat of clear on, for sure.
Hey,
For sure. Okay, where's that? This is the best bargain in
isn't it? So I got one for myself.
$3, right? $3.99 with 20
Oh,
off.
and I didn't have the coupon, so it was $4.
$4. These work
Highway
so
robbery.
good.
I figured just for the polish itself. Right?
These are $4 or $5 each.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's good polish. I already tried it.
And which is the finer one, the white one?
White is fine. This is rough. This is fine.
Okay.
Green is in between. Nice little project we did for Steve. Now the sewing was coming off at a strap. What is this, for the turbo?
Yeah, Suzuki Turbo.
Okay, and what I did, you can see where I did it here. I CA'd it with thick CA, and it came out perfect. Another perfect repair. Steve is so impressed. I guess we're all impressed.